Welcome, Kate and Natalie. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you who are watching this video, I'd like to introduce you to Kate and Natalie from We Connect Property, who are based in the McLaren Vale in South Australia, and they have an amazing business there where they are doing incredible things in their local marketplace and doing incredible things with their social media strategy as well. So Kate and Natalie, welcome and thank you for being here.
Thanks for the invitation.
So Kate and Natalie are the directors of We Connect Property, and they do a few things on social media. So I wanted to ask you a couple of questions, if I could, about your social media strategy.
Absolutely.
First of all, I want to find out, what platforms are you using at the moment?
So Facebook's our biggest one. We dabble in Insta and we're learning LinkedIn.
Oh, beautiful.
Got no idea.
Not very confident in LinkedIn at all, but that's something that we'll build on and learn and keep building on. Yeah.
Awesome. And in terms of where you get most of your business from, whether it's social media or elsewhere, where do you find you get most of your business from?
Yeah, referrals are the biggest, but we also find that having a social awareness assists with the conversion rate. But what we've recently discovered is it really takes 22 views of your brand for someone to build the rapport, to build the trust, to feel like, yep, I need to call these people.
Yeah.
So I think every form of marketing is brand awareness, and it's all relevant. Like today I was at the supermarket and I got stopped. I'm in my business shirt and I don't actually normally wear it. So now I've come back and gone, well, we need to wear our brand, because that was another point of contact. So I think it's all relevant.
Yeah. And so I suppose building on that is like our current clients and our tenants and our investors and all that sort of stuff, and the people that we like, if we're popping up on their social media every now and again, it's like, oh, I was speaking to a friend the other day, I've got to introduce them.
Yeah.
So it's just
Get it front of mind.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And I love that you identify the value of the referrals, but also staying front of mind and using social media as a strategy for staying front of mind. That's awesome. And I love that you got stopped.
You get networked as well. Like, so the groups, the social groups within Facebook, were like, I'm needing a recommendation. We love seeing the comments because we usually get mentioned several times. Yeah. And then we can make a softer introduction to say, hey, look, we are here if you want to come forth and ask any questions. Yeah. And that's been really good. Being tagged.
So much better when somebody else recommends you.
Yes.
As opposed to you jumping in and going, pick me, pick me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. So can you tell me a little bit about the type of social media content that you share?
So we do use a lot of your content, to be honest. We get ideas from that. Being part of the Content Club is really has upped our performance online because we really struggled on finding out what people want to hear, and putting that in words. And by having your templates and things like that, we've been able to expand on that. So it just gives us some ideas and go, yeah, we'll get that out, or we'll do a video on that. We're still working on the videos, but they will come. But we use a lot of the ebooks and things like that. So and just other websites and things. If we think people are interested in that type of thing, then we would plug it on our Facebook as well.
Yeah. Your material helps us look at it for the month and go, all right, what are we using out of here? What can we manipulate? And it helps us form structure. And it gives us that marketing strategy that we otherwise are just like, oh, what are we doing this month?
Or sort of just goes into the too hard basket and nothing gets done. So yeah.
But if I can give a tip to the viewers is, if you plan on doing, your special occasions like your Valentine's Day, your Easter, Christmas, all the rest of it, actually sit down and map it out in the calendar to go, actually, it's here. And 4 weeks beforehand, I'm going to implement X, Y, Z, and then I'm going to ramp it up a fortnight before. We've just done a Valentine's Day competition. It wasn't our best, but it's done. We decided that we would try tagging your friend or the person you want to go out for dinner with, and putting a photo of them. only got like 14, 15 entrants, and a few people shared it. So we know that doesn't work. So out there, learn from us.
We tried it.
It didn't work for our area. But I think if you were tagging names, it might have got a better engagement. Not everyone has the photo on their phone to do it at the time, and then if they're thinking about taking the photo, it's just got too hard for them, I reckon.
We also, like that one reached about 1,000 people anyway. So the reach was there, just the interaction wasn't. So, so we'll learn from that. And yeah.
And I love that you've noticed that perhaps if all you asked was for people to tag, you might have gotten better engagement, but you just tested to see.
Because I was like, my thinking behind it was if you put a photo, people will actually like that photo and then they would like get that generation, but it hasn't worked, but that's okay.
And now you know. I love that. I love that. So tell me, with the two of you being involved in the business as directors, and then also you have a team, and some of your team also involves your spouses as well. How do you manage who is posting what, and how are you doing that?
Everyone has an input of idea. So the staff know wherever they are, if they feel that it's going to be viewed on Facebook in a positive light, like you're at the beach, you're in the country, you've seen a cow, a calf just be born or something, you just take a photo, send it in to us, and then we'll execute it. But when I say we'll, okay, I just delegate, I click it. So that's what works for me.
Yeah, and I love the graphic design, and I love Canva. It's really easy to use. So we've got some templates set up that we'll just throw a photo in, add a little blurb, and then it's up. So I'll have more time now that our team's structure's changing a little bit. So you will probably see a lot more traction and a lot more activity on our social media now that I'll have some more time to be able to spend on it as well.
Oh, that's really cool. So I just want to drill down on that. You mentioned that if your team is out and about, they don't post it immediately, but they send it through to you.
That's right. Yeah.
Do they give you a little bit of a description around what they saw and what the context was and that sort of thing?
Yeah. Or they'll, like if we're talking to them on the phone or something like that, and I'm like, where are you? And take a photo, send it through to me. So we already know where they are. But yeah, we'll just throw it up. Yeah.
Or they'll do a video and say, I've just listed and, I'm at the beach. This is, you could be walking here every evening.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then we'll share it. Hayley's the only one that has the direct feed into our social. So sometimes she'll do our direct input, but generally it just comes back because you're just time poor when you're on the road. So it comes back into the office and someone else, puts it up.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that then just allows you to sort of spread your content so that you don't end up with in one day and then nothing for a week.
Yeah, that's right.
So we try and have a post go up in the morning, and then if there's something else throughout the day, it can go up, or it's scheduled that we have a post morning and evening.
Yeah.
I like that. Now you have your main business account, but then Kate and Natalie, you each have personal brand accounts or personal brand pages on Facebook as well. How do you manage all of that, having effectively 3 pages between?
Yeah, it's tricky. The background behind our pages is we independently ran our own agency and we found it too much, so we combined. So we thought, well, we've got our unique followers that we've managed to create, so we'll just turn it into our own personal brand. So really, for me, I just tend to copy what's the page has done and I share it.
Yeah.
And then if I'm out and about, I'll put my own little post there. But we are unique in the way that we started the business in 100% property management focus. But I've come back from maternity leave and decided that everything was being cared for. I didn't want to interrupt it. So I've taken the sales approach. So that's my page will start to be more sales dominant than property management. You'll just see a few little bits of property management, but it's, I guess, just emphasizing the values of the business across both.
I'm very similar, and my role will be more BDM on the property management side. So I'd like to up that content in that field. But yeah, it's just pretty much sharing what we've got on the business page, because we've both got more followers on our personal pages than we do in the business page. So the reach will get bigger if we're able to bring it all together.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And I like that you're resharing stuff from the business page as well, just so that you're getting more eyes on the same content.
Yeah.
And hopefully saving you ladies a little bit of time
Yeah.
as well. So you mentioned that you are part of the Content Club, which is our social media membership. If I could ask you, like, what's your single favorite thing from the Content Club that you like using each month?
I love your ebooks.
Yeah.
I thought your ebooks were really well written. We've tweaked them to follow our style, but to just have those templates and not have to hire a copywriter, because we were talking just before, is you've got it in your mind on what you want written down, but sometimes it's really hard to put it out and relate to put it out to those people. So just having those templates was really important, and so I love the ebooks, and yeah, just the content of the anniversaries, your funny ideas as well, like your little quirky little things are like, oh yeah, we should do that. So, and we just tweak them to where we are for our area. But yeah, love reviewing it. We don't do everything, but we just pick what we want to do, and it may not happen this month, but it'll happen the following month or whatever.
There's a good proportion of it though that it's used. And one of the posts that got the most engagement was, how do you like your coffee? So getting them to respond. So that was one that definitely was probably hands down winner in our feed if you go back over all of the content that we've put out. But I'm with Kate. Definitely the ebooks is the gold, because I just don't want to sit there and write them.
We just need you to do it on sales now.
Yeah, please. Sales growth. Yeah, but we do try.
Yeah, it's a really big help within our business, and we really appreciate the time that you do and put it together.
Yeah, the investment that you put into it. Yeah. You've obviously put a lot of hours collating it all together and bringing it forth for every month. Definitely helpful.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd probably have half the content, if not a quarter of the content that's actually up online.
Yeah. Or we would have stopped it. Yeah. Or we would have stopped.
It would have got too hard.
Yeah.
But we've been following you for a long time now. How many years have you been doing it?
I started my business the same year you started yours.
Okay, so we've been connected for that long.
Yeah. Yep. Right. Very cool. So if you were to give the listeners today just like one little tip with their social media, what would it be?
Just do it.
Yeah. Don't hesitate. If it doesn't work, who cares?
Yeah.
Try again next time. Because you don't know what your followers actually want. And that's what we would do. We'd sit here, we'd procrastinate, and then in the end, we'd put it up, and the one that we procrastinated the longest on got the best reach and got the best engagement.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, people need to keep seeing you. Just remember, 22 times, then you'll get a transaction, or you'll be warm when you go in for your appraisal.
Yeah.
And your charm will convert them. So just keep going.
Yeah. Just get it up. Stop.
Something's better than nothing.
Yeah. And don't really care what anyone else thinks, to be honest. Like whatever, as long as it's you're okay with it going up, then put it up.
Yeah. As long as it meets your values. But the people that are going to be criticising you are the ones that are not doing anything.
That's so true. That's so true. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you so much for being here to share your insights and your experience with social media and growing your rent roll using it.
Most welcome.
No worries.
Good luck.